Okay, so I feel like I'm on a little bit of a roll, so I'm going to create, see if now we can create the contract tests for the movie database, which I hope will probably be a little bit more challenging, and hopefully, yeah, we'll see why along the way. So I'm not going to worry about the folder structure of this too much at the moment, but I'm going to follow the same thing that I did before and create those contract tests. So I'm going to go file TMDB movie contract spec.ts, and I'm just going to go and copy the structure from this. Take the structure from that, and we'll see what we're going to do there. We will see. Not that one. We can get rid of. No, we'll keep that one for the moment, but we'll go to here and we'll put that in there like that. This is going to be TMDB contract tests, and I'll call that create test TMDB. How have I referred to that elsewhere? Let's have a look. No, I am actually using it all uppercase, so let's make that consistent. TMDB contract tests, and that's going to be, not sure what it's going to be yet, but that's going to be a TMDB interface name, and we'll call it TMDB contract tests. It's good, and our name of our function here is get movie details, and I think that's the only function we're calling. Yes, yeah, get movie details. So that's our context there. So we can also do that. We can also do that. I don't think that's what we're going to be passing in there. But what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to put a string there for that. Get rid of that. Now the context. Let's have a look at what we're doing here. So we've got our contract here is basically saying when we pass that ID, we expect to get back this, or undefined. Or if the ID doesn't exist, then it should be undefined. So let me just kind of create that the same way that we did before. So in here, we're going to say context with ID 1, 2, 3, 4. It should return TMDB movie record. It's going to be async anyway, so we might as well just create that now. We'll do that, and we're going to say create TMDB, and we're going to give it. In this case, let's just create this with the const TMDB equals, and I'm going to return back that. What are we calling that? TMDB movie test params. Let's do that, and then we're going to say expect await TMDB dot get movie details 1, 2, 3, 4 to deep equal that. So that's similar to what we did for the movie database contract test. But we've got a problem. We've got a problem here because I guess it stands to reason that for a start off, for any given movie ID, over time, that vote average might change. So we can't really assert on a fixed number. And I guess we also have the minor issue that we don't actually know. We can't be certain of a movie ID that actually exists. Although, you know, I think we could possibly sort of take a step and say, well, you know, it's less likely that movie IDs are going to get deleted. So I think what we probably want to do here is what I'd be happy with. I feel at the moment, not ideal, but what I'd be happy with, given the lack of control we have over the movie database, would be to pick a movie and pick its ID, and then assert on the basic shape of the data that we get back. So check that it has an ID, check that it has a vote average, check that the vote average is a number, and I think that would be sufficient for this. So we can look at this, we can go to movies, let's go to popular movies, but let's go to top rated. Shawshank Redemption, there we go. So I'm assuming that, is that its ID? And that's going to be quite interesting if that is its ID. Let's have a quick... Okay, so let's just try that and see. So that's going to be quite interesting because that tells us that our ID is probably not actually a numerical. It might not be a numerical ID. Let me just double check that. Right, so what I'll do is we'll go to the actual API and we'll look and see if we can get details for a movie. It's my accounts. Let's just get a movie list, changes collections. Find by ID. Movies, details, movie ID, int 32. Okay, so let's do that and let's see if we can try this out. So that's just giving us the, can we try that in the, can't try it in the browser. Oh, we can. Oh, there we go, okay. So we've got Shawshank Redemption there. And the ID that we get back, it's just 278. 278 is the ID. So that means when we come down here, we can then do movie ID 278. So we can try that. That gives us back the Shawshank Redemption again. Okay, so I think that's reasonable to expect that that ID is probably not going to change for a while. You know, and if our contract tests do start failing because of that, I think that's probably a reasonable situation to be in. So what I'm going to do is say, pass it in with so because we're passing in an ID of 278 and we're not interested in the vote average, I think we're going to call this, rather than we can, for the purposes of this, what do we want to do? We'll call this, we'll make that number, we'll just make that and we'll just make that IDs like that. And then we'll say, when we request 278, we expect to get something back that, can we do it? Does chai have something that kind of matches something? Chai expect that's matching a string. Members, that's not that. That's deep. So deep include, that's possibly going to be what we want. Maybe. I wonder if we can have to have property. Did that give us back on the details? Yeah, so maybe we can just say, let's say to what can we do here? Let's just check. Let's check on here again too. Can we check if it's a number? Instance of array. Property instance of within most below above equals. Maybe let's maybe come back to that one, but okay, so we can do that has to have a property. We do want to make sure that it's actually a number. I'm not sure instance of is going to be the right way of doing that. What we can do, let's maybe, what we can perhaps do here, let's go back to here. Don't want to have to const result equals await. Waiting twice there, don't need that. So we'll get that result, and then we'll say expect result to have property name do that, and then we can also say expect result dot say something like expect, no, let's don't need that. Let's do that, vote average to equal number. We could try that, see what happens. So we're now, I'm going to make, for a start off, an in-memory TMDB. This is going to be our in-memory TMDB movie .spec.ts, and for this we're going to say TMDB contract tests. This is going to be in memory TMDB movie. And we're going to have a function here that's going to take IDs. And we're going to say return new in memory TMDB movie, and that's going to take the IDs and we're going to map them, and we're going to pass, we're going to actually return there something. We're just going to basically hack this a little bit. We're going to return an object, and that object is going to have the ID, but it's also going to have vote average, and that's going to be set to 5. And we don't, that doesn't exist, so we can create it. This is TMDB. Let's get rid of the movie. We probably don't need that from there. Do that. Implement all members. So we've got those. That works. We can make that private and make it movies. That then works. We can also then take that edit configuration. We can probably duplicate that, I think. Can we? Copy configuration. There we go. In memory TMDB, and this is for random movie, isn't it? Apply that, okay that, let's play that, and this should fail. Target cannot be null or unidentified. Where is that? Exhibit property. So now let's try and fix that, and we'll put return find this dot movies dot find movie dot ID equals ID. Is it called ID? No, it's just called. Change that to that. Quick look at that, Tim. Oh, that's interesting. That should be ID. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Why is that? That's complaining because this is not a promise. No, that should work. Now we're passing. Look at that. So that works, and I just want to prove that this does kind of what we think it will do. So if I change that to that, it's going to complain anyway because doesn't like this structure. But if I change it, but if I do that, okay, still not gonna. But that does tell us we are missing one contract test. Let's do that. ID 909. Two zeros, hopefully. Let's see what happens if we try that with 3 zeros. What do we get? Invalid. Good. 404. Perfect. So should return undefined. Double check that it does the same with 0. Yep, cool. Expect. So we can actually do that to be undefined. so we're still passing. We can go here, we can change that to not equals, and that fails, which is good. So our in-memory TMDB seems to work, and our test there works. Let's commit that, and then let's try and see if we can make a real one pass added TMDB contract test and implement and in-memory implementation. So now let's see if we can do the same thing. On that one. That goes to there. We don't have a spec one yet. No, good. So this is going to be the real TMDB. And the real TMD presumably is not going to doesn't need to take any data. So we can create that class. We can implement that member. And at this point we can do something quite interesting. Have we got Axios in here? We don't have Axios, but I wonder if we can use node, if we can use fetch. So let's try this. Do we have fetch? Let's see. Anyway, so how do we? What's the? Where is it? Node.js. Let's have a look at this. Let's copy that. Let's paste that up there. Let's take that up there and let's paste that into there. Let's get rid of that. Wait, that means this needs to be async, and we can now, I don't want to worry about that yet, I just want to do something like res.json, so we'll do a try there, try catch, and we'll do there, we'll do return false, undefined, and here we're going to do return result dot JSON. See if that works. Kind of wonder whether maybe we should just kind of inline that. Can we inline that? Let me do that? Inline. No. Oh, so right there. Inline. Yes. Come on. Perfect. So let's try that with, so that's our in-memory TMDB, we'll copy that one, we'll change that to the real one, so expect object success. Ah, okay, interesting. Let's see what we've got. So let's just let's go to wherever we are. We're in. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that. Get rid of that and that and that and that. Break that just there. Let's just stop that and let's debug it. Results. Look at that. Prerequisite IDs invalid or not found. Interesting. I wonder what we've done. What have we done here? So that wants to be changed. Let's just stop that. Put that there. That there, and we'll change that to ID. Let's try that. Okay, good. So now we're going to find out that our now we're going to find out that something else is not working. So that should have returned undefined, but instead returned something else. So let's see what that did. Of course, we can't see what that did there. So let's just, what can we do to make our life a bit easier there? But let's go into that. We'll go into, let's step into that. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? So let's just const result equals, and then we'll return result, and we will put a breakpoint just there. So we can debug that, and now we can see what we've got back. Result undefined. Oh, in fact, no, sorry, hang on a minute. There we go, that's better. And let's continue. But that needs to be awaited as well. Let's restart that. We've lost our breakpoint. Here we go, so that one works for, okay. So here we want to say, we could possibly even say something here like if result dot success equals false. Do you know what? We should maybe say const response equals await. What does this give us? Okay, let's put the breakpoint there. Let's restart that. Result response. Can we get what else have we got there? We've got response dot status. Let's see what should response dot status be. Let's try that in here. Response dot status. Response 200. Okay, cool. So we can say if response.status not equals 200, return undefined, else return response.json. Let's try that. get rid of that, get rid of that, and let's try running that again. Target cannot be null or undefined. Why is that null or undefined? Let's check this. I'll at least return this. That's me being an idiot. Let's return that. There we go, we're passing. Okay, so now we've got a real implementation. It's using a hard-coded kind of authorization token, but that's okay. We could change that at some later point. We can delete that, we don't need that. So now we've got a real TMDB implementation and also an in-memory implementation. They both seem to work fine. Well, I'm just wondering if there's anything else we need to do at this point other than commit that change. At some point I'll kind of remove this authorization and put that into a different location. And obviously at the moment, whilst I'm kind of committing this, really we shouldn't be kind of committing those to Git. I'm going to remove this kind of token from my account shortly afterwards, so it's not kind of usable, but yeah, you wouldn't normally kind of commit this. Add to contractor, and so added real TMDB implementation. There we go.